He'll do more justice. Come.
Oh no, come on, bro.
Come.
Dawah, man.
No. This is Ali needs Dawah.
I'm living in your shadow, man.
No, Ali needs Dawah, please. Please.
You speak, and I'll
No.
listen to your conversation.
La. You start because you know what? You're a countryman. I'm going to be in the middle. I'm going to have the mics. Let's start.
Oh, go on then.
No, not Ben. You're not recording. Ben?
No.
Oh, damn. I was about
It's too
to...
late, mate.
Oh,
You're recording. No, you're joking.
Oh, I'm joking.
No, you can record me, I don't mind.
It's not about you, mate.
I know.
No, it's me. Oh, what's the point? What's being made?
Okay, is it ready? All right, assalamu alaikum, guys. What's your name?
Peter.
Peter, nice meeting you. I
You
was about to speak to Peter, but I thought Hamza, the champ, is here, and he'll do a better job.
What?
As
Okay,
you can
what
see.
you set me up for here? What you set me up for
I
here?
said, Hamza, come on, he's your countryman.
Yeah,
It's
go
better
on.
he relates to you. So
Go on,
Peter,
go on.
he said he's a agnostic.
Yes, I'm an agnostic. I grew up in a Christian home. We lived and breathed church, the Bible. That was my life growing up. I've moved away from that. I lost my faith, and now I don't know what I believe. I've had some exposure to Islam in the last year through a work colleague who's taught me a lot about Islam, actually. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
So you say you're agnostic. What do you mean by that?
Like, I believe there could be a God.
Be.
There could be. Yeah, this is my belief right now.
Okay.
I believe there could be a God. I don't know if there is a God. Even if we could prove there's a God, I don't think that proves any particular religion true. That's a completely separate discussion. Yeah.
Okay. So if this God did exist, are we talking like the creator kind of God? Created
Yeah,
everything?
that's what I think. I mean, I look around me and I realise, to me, the whole idea that a Big Bang happened and created all of this doesn't quite sit right with me.
Okay.
I struggle to see how an explosion creates, well, look at that. Beautiful trees, beautiful nature, beautiful sunshine.
Handsome man like
and
this.
us.
I mean, come on, impossible. Yeah, carry on.
Right.
What, man? Carry on, I'm being honest.
So if this creator exists, would you agree that it would be the source of supreme guidance?
Not necessarily.
Really not. Why not?
I mean, it could be, but I don't necessarily think that conclusion comes from the premise.
Why not?
If we have the premise, the Earth exists, and if the Earth exists, it has a creator. The Earth does exist, therefore it has a creator. That doesn't then lead to the conclusion that creator gives us moral guidance. They could be
I didn't say moral guidance.
Oh, sorry. I used the wrong phrase there.
Oh, no, actually, you are correct. No, I'll explain what I mean. If a creator created everything, would this creator know us better than we know ourselves?
That would depend on whether the creator, well, I suppose, probably.
So he would know what's good for us and bad for us.
I can give you that, potentially.
So it would be the source of supreme guidance.
I see where you're going with this. I don't know, not necessarily.
Right, you just agreed and I disagreed again, so let's go back. Okay. Would the one who created us know us better than we know ourselves?
Would they know us better than we know ourselves?
Yes.
I mean,
What's good for us and what's bad for us? What benefits and what harms?
I don't know.
Why not?
You got me thinking here. I mean,
Oh, so that's the whole point of this conversation. Why not? Why wouldn't the one who created us, fashioned us, know what's good for us and what's bad for us? Why wouldn't he?
Imagine a product you made, you will know the product better than...
For example,
yeah.
I've got a Samsung phone. For example,
I've got Apple, for example.
Look, Samsung rules, Apple drools. All right. I've got a Samsung phone. Now, I would say the one who who came up with building a Samsung phone,
Samsung, they're going to know better about it than a different company, say, I don't know, Motorola or Sony.
the creator of a thing will know more about that thing they've created.
Yeah, okay. I can give you that analogy.
So we'll go back again now. So do you accept that the one who created everything, if that thing exists, would be the source of supreme guidance?
Okay, that's a possibility. I won't say a definite yes, I'll say that's a possibility.
It's a definite yes.
I said I wouldn't say that's a definite
No, but you
yes
need
from...
to. You need to be honest here. It would be a definite yes. If a creator created this whole universe and fashioned everything within it, yeah, that creator would know what's good for his creation, what's bad for his creation.
Okay.
What benefits his creation, what harms his creation.
Okay.
There is no don't know about it, there's no maybes about it, there's no possibilities about it. It's like, yeah, well, if that creator does exist, yes, that would be the case.
Okay.
It's not even an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would that same creator be the source of objective morality?
Potentially. I mean, I do believe there is objective morality. I'm not a moral relativist. I just want to make that point.
So you're not a moral relativist?
No, and I'm not a truth relativist either. There must be absolutes, and absolutes must fit the principle of non-contradiction.
So you're a moral realist?
Yes, I believe that there are moral facts, and I believe there is objective absolute
And what is
truth.
your standard of a moral fact?
I believe that some things are clearly wrong at all times. For example, it is wrong to murder someone. Outright wrong.
Define murder.
To take the life of another.
What if that other person is trying to break in your house and kill your family?
That's self-defense, so that's
So
probably...
what happens to your objectivity?
So there we've got to... Okay,
So it's not objective then?
But there is some objective to
It's not,
morality.
really, is it?
What I would say is this is a bit like Kant's... What I said was more like Kant's categorical imperative.
No, what I'm saying is this.
But-
If you're saying something's objective, you need a standard.
Yeah.
Right now, you're the standard. You ain't no standard, mate. No disrespect.
I agree. Otherwise,
You're
it's-
subjective.
Otherwise, it would be a free-for-all. Anything goes
Right.
out in our
So,
society.
as a moral realist, what's your objective standard?
As I said, there are some things that are just clearly wrong. And it's not just me who declares, for example, murder wrong. I think if you ask anyone around here, we're all going to say, well, murder is wrong.
Did Hitler think murder was wrong?
No, unfortunately.
So it's not objective.
But I would still say that it was objective, just that he didn't accept it.
Well, no. That means it's not objective. Why is he wrong? Why is he wrong?
Why is Hitler wrong?
Yeah.
Because it's clearly wrong to kill another human being.
Why?
Because it's clearly wrong.
Why? No, objectively, why?
I get where we're going here, because you're saying if there's no basis for it, for example, in this case you're going to say the Quran.
I'm not saying anything right now. I'm not mentioning religion right now.
Yep.
I'm not mentioning religion. I'm just talking about
But
standards.
if we don't have a guide from someone like a god, then how do we know what is right and wrong is where you're going with this.
No, we've already established if a God exists, if a creator exists, it would be the source of supreme guidance. And at the same time, it would be the source of objective morality which you believe exists. So you believe, so right now you're a person, Peter, standing here believing in objective morality, yet have no standard of it. Yeah, because you need a standard that everyone to be measured against. And you can say they're wrong and I'm right, and that's what, do you understand? So it's amazing you're in a position where you believe in something but you can't demonstrate that thing.
I mean, different philosophers have come up with different ways of answering this.
How?
I'll give you an example, Kant's categorical imperative, who states that you should not commit yourself to an action unless you will that action to be universal law. In that was how he was trying to develop an objective standard of morality. So, for example, I shouldn't kill someone unless I can will that everyone goes around killing people. And I think most of us couldn't do that. Therefore, he would say murder is wrong. And he'd use the same with lying and stealing and a lot of the other things that, not just me, but in general, in the world, we agree is wrong.
Is lying objectively wrong?
I think it would depend on the circumstance.
So it's not objectively wrong.
I mean, if it was World War II...
You can't see. If I ask you a question, right, and I say, is it objectively wrong, and your response is, depends on the circumstance.
I didn't say that I agreed with Kant's categorical
No,
imperative. I was giving that as an
I
example.
understand, yeah. I'm just saying...
There've got to be exceptions to certain rules, and this is contextually based.
No. If I asked you, right, is something objectively wrong, and you say depends on the circumstance, now you've switched from objective to subjective, because then who decides on the circumstance? And who agrees that meets the threshold of the circumstance? Do you understand the point? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not bullying you here. I just like to.
Can you stop bullying him, Hamza?
I just like to carve to the bone.
I don't feel bullied.
Good man.
There you go.
All right.
You don't look like you can be bullied, by the way.
So we've established a very simple principle that if God does exist, a creator does exist, it would have to be the source of supreme guidance, and it would have to be the source of objective morality, because whatever we get up to is irrelevant to God, this creator. There's nothing we can do on this earth that's going to diminish the creator, which means the rights and wrongs of this earth has got nothing. It's no effect. We're not like talking about Greek gods where you don't worship them and they start to lose their strength and all that crap.
Or Zeus, who might smite you with a lightning bolt.
We need to worship their idols. We're not talking about this. We're talking about a creator, right? So if this creator exists, then we'd agree on this principle, yeah? And you'd be stupid, a fool, not to connect to this creator. Would you agree to that?
I'd be a fool to what? Sorry, say that again.
Not connect to this creator if this creator existed.
If this creator was personal and knowable, then yes.
No. If this creator existed, that is supreme, it's a source of supreme guidance for us as human beings, and is the source of the objective morality you crave, then you would be stupid not to connect to that creator if indeed that creator existed.
If that creator existed, then yes, probably.
Definitely.
I try not to speak in absolute terms most of the time.
I don't do F some mazes. I do absolutes, yeah? Because this is an absolute. You'd be a fool. If God existed in reality and He's created us, you'd be a fool not to connect to Him.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be a fool not to ask God, give me some guidance, man. Tell me what's good for me, what's bad for me, what harms, what benefits. When I die, what's going to happen? You'd be a fool not to connect to that knowledge. Agree?
Fair enough.
How would you know if a God exists? A creator exists.
I've got no way of proving it with complete certainty.
How would a creator, how could you know anything about a creator if that creator existed?
You tell me.
No. I want you to answer the question. I want you to think about it and tell me how you can know anything about this creator if this creator exists.
If this creator spoke to me or spoke to people around me, I guess.
Okay. So the answer you're looking for is if this creator reveals information about himself. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
This is the question. The only way we can know anything about a creator, if this creator exists, is if this creator has decided or chosen to reveal the information. Otherwise, we've got no access. Agreed?
Yeah.
Has this creator done this?
Well, people in different religions will claim he has in different ways.
So in history, we see a multitude of men, all claiming to have received revelation.
Yes, indeed, and some still do. So I've seen some crackpots around here who who still think that they're prophets of God or whatever.
The question we need to ask is, have you tested the claims of these men?
Have I tested them? I mean, I've looked into a number of different religious belief systems, is the way I'll phrase it.
I would ignore religions right now.
Okay.
I'll make it even simpler for you. What area are you from?
What area?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
In country.
Oh, London. Well, I'm originally from Lincoln. I now live in London.
So you live in London. So if a messenger was sent to Scotland, is that message for you?
Well, it depends if the message is about the UK or
Oh, it's
Scotland.
for the people of Scotland.
Oh, then no, it's not for me, is it?
Not for you. All right. So what you need to do in history is look for these men who've come with revelation, come with a message from this creator, who made the claim it was for you. Now, who in history has done that?
I know where you're going with this, and I know who you're going to say next. I would say, I don't know that God spoke through Muhammad,
I didn't say that.
but I know who you're referring to.
That wasn't my question.
So who has claimed that they have a message for the whole world?
Who in history can you identify has made a claim, they've come with a message from this creator for you?
For me. Well, yeah, Joseph Smith certainly did, with his vision of the angel Moroni and the magic plates that he read from the ground. That it's clearly bullshit, but excuse my language. But
I know, because it's cameras. Careful the words.
Okay.
yeah, sorry, I'll be careful of my language.
And don't, and
Kids
ignore
are
the
watching.
pigeons.
Yeah.
Ignore the pigeons.
Hamza, I'm coming for you after you're done, okay?
Ignore the pigeons.
I want to talk about the Injils,
okay.
the Trinity of Injils.
Okay. So the point here is this: only one man in history said he came for you. Yeah. If you want to cite Joseph Smith, you're welcome to do so.
I would cite Jesus Christ.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay. Did he say he came for you?
I came to seek and save those who were lost. He didn't say those who were lost in Israel.
Did he? Did he not say I've come not to worship God as Israel?
He came for everyone.
Is that what he said?
According to what I grew up believing, Jesus came for everyone.
So when Jesus said, "Go ye not into the Gentile, enter ye not the city of the Samaritans, for I have not been sent but to the lost sheep of Israel," what did he mean?
You just mixed two just together.
I don't have the Bible with me to check. And remember, as I said, I don't really believe the Bible anymore, but I know what I grew up with and what I grew up believing. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me.
Yeah. But who's
And
his audience?
that's no one,
Who's his
not
audience?
no Jew, no Gentile, no... He preached to the people who were there around
Who were
him.
they?
Well, the Jews, the Gentiles.
No.
Yes.
Jesus never preached to Gentiles.
The
According
centurion
to
was
the
a Gentile.
according to the New Testament.
Jesus reached out to the Gentiles,
according to the
certainly.
New Testament, Jesus never preached to Gentiles. In one occasion, when the Samaritan woman came to him and asked for help, what did he say to her? Don't you know, I have not been sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Is it fair to give the bread of the children to the dogs? Yeah? So he differentiated between Jews and Gentiles, as in children and dogs. Children of Israel, dogs. Children of Israel, Bani Israel, Jews, dogs, Goyim, Gentiles. Okay. And then she said, but even the crumbs, even the dogs get the crumbs from the master's table. And then she said, oh, because of your faith, and he helped her. But what was his initial response? Don't you know I have not been sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Yeah? And we can see in his ministry, if the New Testament don't believe this historically, which I don't believe it is, if you were doing an internal critique on this, to see whether there's justification to believe Jesus came for the whole world based on what the New Testament says, it's not the case. From the words of Jesus. You might have Paul come in later saying such and such a thing. We're talking about Jesus here. Paul's not a messenger of God. Jesus was. Jesus was the prophet. Only one man in history, Peter, came to say came for the whole world. That was Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. Yeah? So what you need to do now, Peter, is test that claim.
So how do I know that Muhammad... And I don't want to come across offensive in what I'm saying. I want to try and be careful in how I word
Generation X, mate.
Okay, fair. I'm not so easily triggered either. How do I know that Muhammad didn't just hallucinate and make it all up?
Beautiful. Okay, so what we should do at this point is say, look, he made a claim that an angel came to him in the cave of Hira to reveal to him he's a messenger of God. What else could explain that phenomenon?
So say that again?
Okay, he made a claim
Yep,
that an angel came to him
yep,
and told him he's a messenger of God.
yep.
Okay, what else could explain that phenomenon?
A, he's lying. I mean, that's the number one choice. He's lying, he made it up, right? I'm not saying I believe that, but that's a possibility. B, maybe he took some plant or something that made him hallucinate. C, maybe he had an illness that caused him to hallucinate. They're the three initial possibilities that come off the top of my head. What's the fourth?
Okay, so you have the two atheist claims and the one Christian claims. So the two atheist claims are that he was lying. He invented the whole story for some benefit or whatever. And there was no angel because angels don't exist. So he must be lying because angels don't exist. Okay, that's the one claim of the atheist. The other claim of the atheist is angels don't exist. Now, if he says he was talking to angels and hearing voices of angels, he must have some kind of psychosis.
Mental health problem, yeah.
Or hearing voices or something. So these are the two claims of the atheist. Delusion and lying. Then the claim of the Christians is that this wasn't an angel, this was in fact Satan. An angel imitating an angel of light, tricking Muhammad into believing he's a messenger of God. The problem the Christian has at this point, he has to accept that Muhammad was a man of integrity. He's got to accept that Muhammad thought he was speaking to an angel, when in fact it was a Satan. So you can't blame Muhammad. Muhammad is a victim of deception. And he thought he was delivering a message. So he should be seen as Christians as a man who's a victim. Yeah? Not as a man who's doing Satan's work, as if like he knows. Because if he knows, then he's lying. And then that throws the deception out of the way. So he's either deluded, he's either deceived, yeah? He's either lying, or he's telling the truth. Now when you do the investigation into this, you'll realize he wasn't crazy. Now, I don't really want to go into the depth of it here, because I don't like to do all the homework in one place. Because I know how people are. I could give you all the information, it go over your head, you'll have another conversation.
And it's a big subject.
You'll forget about it. But luckily, on my channel, Hamza's Den.
Hamza's Den was
Yes,
that? Yeah.
We've done 3 live streams. We did one live stream, was the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu crazy? Yeah, and we brought a psychiatrist on from Qatar, Dr. Abu Isa, and we went through all the different kind of illnesses that could result in this. And we challenged anyone to come on to challenge this claim. Claim done. Then we did another stream, was the Prophet Sallallahu lying? And then we brought somebody on to do a historical presentation on the Prophet Muhammad and his life and all of these things, and if he was lying, what you should see, the evidence and such. And again, the conclusion was...
I will say this, just on the lying front. Just because somebody has told a lie doesn't mean they lie all the time.
But he would have to lie for 23 years.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that there's some things he said could be true and some things might be a lie. How do you verify which of his claims are true and which of them are a lie?
But that's you just the character of the man, isn't it? Was he known to lie?
I
Like,
don't
for
know.
example, Joseph
I didn't
Smith.
live back then.
Like, for example, Joseph Smith was used, yeah? Was on Joseph Smith. He was a known con man. He was a known fraudster.
I mean, it's clearly clearly rubbish.
Do you know what I find amazing about the Joseph Smith story? That he was the only one who could read the tablets.
And the tablets have disappeared now.
No, before that, but listen to that, before that. If he's the only one who could read the tablets, how did anybody know he could read them?
They couldn't.
If he's the only one who could read them, he could say, yeah, I can read them, mate.
But for me,
Yeah,
the biggest
sure,
thing
yeah,
is
yeah.
the tablets no longer exist. They disappeared.
But before that. Can't you read them, mate? No. Can you read them, mate? No. Well, I can read them. And he can try. What? And what's he doing? Translating the King James Bible. The Book of Mormon is like an interpretation of the King James Bible.
With a lot of additional stuff that
But the King James Bible's not even reliable. So why do you interpret a book that's not reliable? Yeah, the King James Bible contains known forgeries. Why are you interpreting this book? So the whole Joseph Smith thing is just nonsense. Okay. So you look at the claim of him being a liar. And I encourage you to watch that stream. I encourage everyone here who's watching on YouTube and whatever, go to my channel, Hamza's Den. We did 3. Was he lying, was he crazy, or was he deceived by Satan? And we did 3 big presentations. And after watching these, then respond. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Because if he's not lying, crazy, and deceived, then he must be telling the truth. And if he's telling the truth, then he's a messenger of God. And if he's a messenger of God, he's come with a message from God to connect you to that creator that you're stupid not to connect to. It's as simple as that.
I mean, I can accept what you're saying there, that either A or B or C, if not, therefore D.
It's as simple as that. And then if you don't believe he's telling the truth, then you have to go definitive on why he was a liar, or why he was crazy, or why he was deceived. And remember, this was not just one claim. This was a claim of 23 years. Continuous. Mm-hmm. Now, a person with mental health who's not treated, their mental health. A person with schizophrenia is a social recluse and is paranoid. Yeah? So we should see the effects of these things. Yeah? The question about the liar, did he have the motivation to lie? And did he have the capacity to fulfill the lie? So first of all, did he have reason to lie? Did he benefit from the lie?
I would counter to that not everyone needs a reason to lie. Unfortunately, I've certainly known people in my life who you would call compulsive liars. They lie for the sake of it, make up stories. I've met people like this.
They lie for a reason.
Yeah, and maybe it's attention seeking, something like that. But I mean, I can't know their motive. All I know is I can't believe a word that comes out of their mouth, because they come up with all of these rubbish stories.
Most people lie for a reason. They either lie for gain, or they lie for attention. Yeah, this is what we say. But if you look at the claim that he lied for fame or for whatever, look at his life and ask yourself, really? Yeah? And if he did it for... see, I have 2 points. Not just whether or not he had the motivation to do it. He may be altruistic. He may have seen a society and thought, you know what? I need to change these guys. I need to stop them doing the things they're doing. You wouldn't really go and tell them to stop doing the thing that holds the whole society together. Stop worshiping idols. He could easily have gone down and said, you know what? You can keep the idols. But remember, Allah's the main God. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to, if you want to lie to the people, like our mate Tommy Robinson, yeah? He's created this event on June the 1st, isn't it?
I don't know.
So he's doing this big march.
I know who he is. I don't know a lot about.
But what he's done very cleverly, he's roped everyone in. If you're against immigration, no problem. If you're against transgender toilets and stuff like this in your school, so he's basically spoke to everybody who's got a little piece of the pie, bring them all together to act like he's got this movement. Do you understand? So you do little bits and pieces. Okay. So this is an example of that. Anyway, so we look at the motivation, and then we look at the capacity. Did this man have the ability to do what he's accused of? Could this man have invented the Quran? Could he have made this up? You can look at what the people at the time said when he was reciting it. Did they say it was made up? Did they say it was a liar? What did they say? They sent their best poets to listen to the Quran being recited. What was their response when they came back? When they said, where's he getting these words from? They said, it's sorcery. Why did Arab poets, some of the greatest poets that have ever existed in Arabic, when they heard the Quran, their only conclusion was, it's supernatural. It's something, we don't know where he's getting this from. Why would that be their reaction? To some random man making this stuff up?
I mean, to be fair, at that time, everyone thought everything was supernatural. This was a time in history when, if we go back even 500 years, everything was supernatural in one way or the other. It was either of God or it was witchcraft and of the devil. That was the kind of world that it was back then.
Yeah, potentially. But when they said to him, because why send poets then? Why not send witches or soothsayers or something? They sent poets. Why? Because they knew this man, Muhammad. He grew up with them. From the Bani Hashim. He was an orphan boy in their society. They watched him grow. This guy's illiterate. Now where's he getting all this information from? And it's beautiful. It's like poetry. It's sweet to the ear. Where's he getting this from? You're the poets. Go listen to him. Where's he getting this info from? And they came back, and they didn't come, oh, he must have read some beautiful Arabic scripture somewhere. They said, this is sorcery. So it's an indication that there's something special about the words. Maybe you need to be an Arab to really understand what was special about those words.
Yeah, I mean, poetry often doesn't translate. I mean, the words might, the poetry often doesn't.
Style, meaning, grammar.
Yeah.
You need to get style. If you get style, meaning, and grammar in a sentence, it's pretty impossible. Because you get style, meaning, grammar's gone.
Yeah.
Grammar, meaning, no style.
I'm studying to try and learn Polish, so I sort of understand.
Yeah. So you lose something. But the Quran contains style, meaning, and grammar throughout, A to Z, beginning to end. And when you read the Quran, virtually every single chapter is the same message. History of man, guidance for man, warning of what's to come. Throughout it, warning of the past, guidance for the present, get ready for the future. And I make this claim to anyone. Islam, and nothing but Islam, can give you peace of mind, body, and soul. No other way can. Christianity can't do it. Judaism can't do
Christians make the same
it.
claim.
They can't make the claim. Christians' minds have to remain in a box. Christians can't question too hard what they're supposed to believe as Christians because it crumbles in their hands.
And if Muslims question too hard what they're supposed to believe as Muslims and
We're
end
told
up
to question it.
leaving the faith,
We're told to question
they're
it.
going to be made to suffer for it.
One second. We're told to question it. We're told to question these things. Allah says in the Quran throughout it, question it. Oh, men of understanding.
You're allowed to question maybe, but you're not allowed to conclude that Islam is wrong.
Why not?
Well, you know what happens to people who leave Islam?
What happens?
Well, they're outcasts.
What do you mean?
They become an outcast. I can't remember what the word is for somebody
What
who
does the
leaves
Quran
Islam.
say?
I know they're committing shirk very often,
What
or...
does the Quran say about those who leave Islam?
Well, I know...
Have you read the Quran?
No.
So how are you going to tell me what the Quran says?
However, I do know that, having watched the video here with Ali Dawah himself speaking to a former Muslim who became a Christian, that Ali Dawah said that that man deserved capital punishment. I've seen his own words on video saying that.
Where's Ali? Ali! Oh, I'll leave it. So the point is this. The Quran says those who leave Islam and come back. Leave Islam and come back. Leave Islam and come back. Yeah? Allah doesn't say kill them in the Quran. Yeah? Those who leave, come back, leave, come back, leave, come back.
Is there someone messing around with you, Hamza?
Yeah.
You said he called me.
Yeah, I'm calling you. Yeah? And there's a beautiful verse in the Quran, La ikraha fid din. No compulsion in religion. Yeah?
If there's no compulsion, then why in the Sharia does it say that, you know, Christians and Jews, if they refuse to convert, should be forced to pay jizya, is it? I think that's
jizya?
the word. The tax.
Okay. And what does jizya enable? Sorry, who pays jizya and what is it for?
Christians and Jews who refuse to convert, people who refuse to convert to Islam,
Who
right?
pays it?
Them.
Who?
The Christians or the Jews who
Which
refuse to
Christians?
convert.
Which Christians?
I mean, I don't know. I just know that I've heard.
Don't speak from ignorance. It's going to be Peter. The ones who pay jizya is who? Men of military age. And what does that jizya do? Exempts them from the military. Yeah?
That's what it's for.
Women don't pay jizya. Old people don't pay jizya. Children don't pay jizya. Men of military age pay jizya.
Okay.
Yeah? And in return, the Muslims protect them. Who do you think saved the Jews from slaughter from the Christians in history?
Oh, back in the Crusades, the time of the Crusades,
No,
are we
not the
talking?
Crusades, no.
You tell me.
The Muslims. Okay, there's a beautiful article I want you to go and read. Yeah, and it's written in the Jewish Chronicle by David Wasserstein. He's a Jewish professor of history. And he writes a title in the Jewish Chronicle Jewish Chronicle how Islam saved Jewry. Without the Muslim protection, the Christians would have wiped out the Jews of Europe. But in Andalusia, for 800 years, they were protected by the Islamic State. For 800 years, they flourished. They researched. They didn't have to become Muslims. They were Jews. And Jews could come and live there and protected by the state. Yeah, they paid jizya, but they were protected. What happened when the protection was over, when the Reconquista happened with Isabella and Ferdinand, and the Catholic armies got so strong, they pushed the Muslims out of the Europe, yeah? What happened to the Jews? Huh?
I don't know.
Forced to convert. What did the Jews do? Said to the Muslims, let us come with you. And that is why Morocco was one of the greatest enclave of Jews before the State of Israel. Yeah, where they were protected. Because the Caliphate couldn't protect them in Spain anymore. So the Jews came with them. Now, does this sound like a people living in an Islamic State who are subjects of oppression, dhimmis and this?
It does sound a bit like a mafia protection racket.
A mafia protection racket.
Yeah, you must pay us for your protection.
Okay, you pay us, you're exempt from the army. Muslim men had to go to the army. Non-Muslim men don't. Okay. Did they pay zakat, these Christians? Did the Muslims pay zakat?
Do you know what zakat is? It's what we are.
It's what we have to pay.
By the way,
2.5%
me and my wife.
2.5% of your wealth.
Yeah.
Zakat, isn't that like the charity?
It's not charity.
Oh, that's a different thing.
Charity sadaqah.
Yeah, I can't remember all the words.
Zakat is the filth of your wealth. Zakat is the money that doesn't belong to you. 2.5% of your wealth has to be given away. Yeah? And it either goes to the Beit al-Zakat, and then they will feed the poor people with it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Or it will be used to do other things. But the point is this. The non-Muslims didn't pay this. Yeah. I'm going to tell you a fun fact now. Have you heard of Captain Jack Sparrow?
And I've heard the name.
Do you know the real story of Captain Jack Sparrow and who he was? His real name was Jack Birdie. Well, that was his nickname. Yusuf Riaz was his Muslim name. Yeah? Captain Jack Sparrow, you know. Yeah, right.
He was a Muslim.
He wasn't. He was originally an English buccaneer, privateer. Yeah? Eventually, he became Muslim. His Sicilian wife became a Muslim. Their whole pirate ship, buccaneers, you know, they call them buccaneers, they're pirates.
Yeah.
Became Muslim. And they were ferrying Jews from Spain to Morocco. This is a history you'll never know. There should be a movie about this, but you'll never hear it. Because they've rubbished the name.
Whitewash history.
They've whitewashed history. Captain Jack Sparrow, you just think, that's what you think now. But you know, I hear Captain Jack Sparrow, I think of Jack Birdie. I think of Yusuf Riaz. I think of a Sicilian wife on a pirate ship with no rum drinking and all of this stuff. Yeah. And I question this, subhanAllah. Why didn't I learn this in school, man? This is information. But the point I'm trying to make to you is this, talk about the Islamic State and jizya and all of these things. 800 years, the Jews flourished. Without Islam protecting them, the Christians would have wiped them out. Because the Christians were so anti-Semitic, it was unreal.
Why were they?
Because they believed that they killed Jesus and all of this. If you see the words of the church fathers, they should burn all the synagogues down, all of these things. Yeah, they wanted to distance Christianity away from the Jews. Because when you look at the teachings of Jesus, it was for the Jews. He didn't come to abolish any laws, all of these things. They needed Paul's version of Christianity to be the predominant thing. So they detach it from anything Jewish. So they put the blame on the Jews for crucifying him. But the irony is they should be thanking the Jews for crucifying him.
Exactly. And imagine
because if he didn't get crucified, they would have been saved.
How much tax do you pay?
Tax.
Do you know how much tax?
Far too much.
Exactly. So imagine, let me tell you something. In Islamic lands, you would love it because you are enjoying what it offers, and you're paying a simple jizya, which is what, a dinar a year, and that's obviously just to protect you. What previous nations will do is there's no jizya, there's slaughter, we pillage everything. If you look at it, which is very interesting, somebody mentioned just to add on this, is that do we have, you know, the